What's going on, everybody? It's Eli with Common Sense, and I am so glad that you're joining me today. This week in my fragrance rotation has been a little bit of an eclectic mix. You have some really nice kind of sweet and more dense fragrances, and you also have some more citrusy, fresh fragrances that are going to be nice for this really hot weather. But whether you're sitting in the office with your AC blasting or you're out in the field with the heat on your neck, you're gonna be smelling really nice. And today we're gonna be going over 10 fragrances that I wore within my past week that are going to be great for this spring weather. So stick around, make yourself comfortable, and let's jump right in. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Eli with Common Sense, and if this is your first time watching, we are doing a weekly fragrance rotation. So this is going to be, I think, my fourth or so week, and I just thought I'd kind of talk about these 10 fragrances because I wore them this week and I got real close with them, and there's some good ones on here. On Monday all day, I wore this one. This is wataniah's Lazuli, and this is one of the closest Tom Ford Neroli Portofino clones that I have ever smelled. And some people have been saying they get a little bit better performance from the Maison Alhambra Porto Neroli. I get better longevity out of this one. And I feel like this one may get a little bit better performance just in the initial blast, but man, does this stuff smell good. It smells like a nice powdery orange blossom and neroli, so it smells like spring. It smells like everything's blooming, and you also have a nice refreshing lemon and citrus in the top that just smells so photorealistic. And it smells like you just squeezed a nice lemon and you just made some fresh lemonade. That's what you get out of this one. Just a really nice, citrusy, clean, soapy, classic Italian vibe out of this one. And best of all, it's about $40, or actually it's cheaper. I want to say it's like 35 bucks. And that one is wataniah's Lazuli. So Tuesday, I was actually testing out a new fragrance. This is Fragrance World's Irish Coffee. Now you might be thinking, why am I going to be going with a super sweet coffee, kind of dense fragrance in the spring? Well, I was working in the office. I had the AC blasting on me. If you think about it, you can pull off some of your cooler weather fragrances, especially if you're in the office all day. So that's just a cool way to rotate through your fragrances. But this one is so freaking good. It kind of smells like the Italian coffee mate creamer, the purple kind that you pour into your coffee, and it also has a little bit of a boozy, fruity vibe. So it kind of reminds me a little bit of plum, and you also have some really nice kind of boozy notes in here. And I don't want to give away too much because I'm going to do a full review of this one and the other coffee fragrance on this list. But all morning and throughout the afternoon, this one made me smell extremely wonderful. And then in the afternoon, I went with Euphoric Oud. This stuff smells so close to the original Initio Oud for Happiness. So you have a nice blast of citrus in the opening. I think it's bergamot, and you also have some nice licorice sweetness in here. So it's gonna smell a little bit rooty. It's gonna smell a little bit kind of like root beer or that licorice vibe. And you also have a really nice oud and some spices in the base, and I feel like some leather as well. But man, does this stuff smell really cool, especially when it cools down in the evening or you want to wear something that's a little bit spicy but still kind of fresh. I think this is a really nice way to bridge that gap between the super cold and super warm weather. And this stuff projects too, especially within the first 3 hours. Like, it is really strong. And that one is Euphoric Oud. Wednesday morning, I decided to go with another Fragrance World coffee fragrance, and this one is Fragrance World's Kopi Luwak. And this, if you don't know what Kopi Luwak is, look it up. It's pretty interesting. It's basically where these civet cats eat a bunch of these kind of Asian cherries. They digest them, and once they are expelled from the cat, they are collected, roasted. Basically, it's cat poo coffee. But this stuff does not smell fecal at all, and I can't wait to do a full review. But you get a very nice, nutty, earthy, roasted coffee mixed with a tiny little bit of cherry. So it smells a little bit fruity, but ultimately it's kind of a smoky, roasted coffee. This stuff just goes on, and you can still smell it on your clothes well into the evening. But again, this one does smell really good, especially if you're gonna be sitting down in the AC, it's gonna be blasting. You can definitely pull this off, especially in the office, because it smells coffee-like. It's a little bit sweet. It's a hint of sweetness, not quite as sweet as the last one. This is more of a rich coffee. And in the afternoon, this is technically not on the list. This is like my 11th fragrance, but this is actually a fragrance that I have been working on. I bought a whole bunch of fragrance aroma oils. I got some notes over there in my little my little corner over there, but I've been experimenting trying to make a coffee fragrance. And so this one is just a little side project. I used a ton of different notes. I have some roasted coffee in this one. I had some oud, I had some Russian leather, and some other really interesting notes, including a petrichor kind of dirt note. So it almost smells like you're sipping coffee in the mountains and you have that kind of wet asphalt. So that's kind of what I went for this one. It's like you're sitting on your porch with a nice rainstorm, drinking some cozy warm coffee to warm your cockles. That is a weird, where did that phrase come from? I haven't used that in ages. Basically think Longmire. This is definitely gonna go through some reformulations, but I thought I'd just try it out and test it on skin, and it smells pretty good, not gonna lie. On Thursday, all day, I went with Tom Ford's Oud Minerale. Now this fragrance is a beast of a fragrance. It smells so good, especially in this hot weather. This is a really unique approach to the note of agarwood. So it smells like an aquatic, just oceanic oud. So you almost have like a subtle smokiness mixed with a nice sea salt accord. And it kind of just smells like the wood on a pirate ship. That's kind of what I imagine with this. It's a little bit salty, it's a little bit musky, a little bit musty, and it is definitely an oud that you can pull off in the summer heat. And that's kind of why I pulled this one out. But again, it is so unique and you just have to smell it to believe it. So if you're ever at your Macy's or you have the chance to get a decant of this, definitely check it out because it's a really cool oud fragrance that's not going to turn a whole lot of people away. I've really only got compliments when I've worn this one. On Friday, I went on a road trip with my family and I wore this one. I wore Zara's Vibrant Leather Summer. This is such a bright opening. It's got a nice muskiness to it. It has lemon and I think also some bergamot, but oh man, does this stuff smell refreshing. This stuff smells a lot like the Dior Homme cologne, but if you can still manage to find this one, Vibrant Leather Summer, it goes so hard for the first 3-4 hours and it just smells incredible. It almost smells like a lemon bergamot shampoo. So it's a little bit soapy, it's a little bit clean, not super neroli heavy like the wataniah or the neroli portofino. It basically is just a sporty, citrusy fragrance that lasts and lasts. Plus, it's got a magnetic cap, so that's a win-win. So if you still have this fragrance lying around, or if you see it on eBay or Mercari, snatch this up because this is liquid gold. So yesterday, I went with a really nice vacation fragrance because I was still staying overnight at the coast, and this stuff is really underrated. And best of all, it's $15 or so at the rack stores if you can find it. This is English Laundry's Tahitian Waters. This is going to be the most amazing vacation fragrance. It smells like a coconutty, just brown sugar, delicious fragrance. It's also got a little bit of a gin kind of alcoholic note, but it almost smells like a blend between Creed's Virgin Island Water and also the Tommy Bahama St. Bart's. So it's kind of like a hybrid of those two, but man, does this stuff smell amazing. And it was pushing really strong off my skin for a good 4 or 5 hours, and I can still smell it on my laundry a day later. I also got a couple compliments of this one as well when I wore it yesterday, so this stuff is no joke at all. And that one is English Laundry's Tahitian Waters. In the afternoon, as we were heading home, I stopped at a rack store and found this $15 hidden gem of a fragrance. And I'm gonna do a review on this one as well, but I thought I'd talk about it here a little bit. This one is a relatively new fragrance house. It's called miic, and this one is their Compound 27. It says it's a blend of greenwood spice. It's eau de parfum. It's an oil concentration of 20%. This smells so much more expensive than it already is, and I gotta say, it is a carbon copy of Prada Luna Rossa Carbon. See what I did there? It's got that really nice kind of mineralic note. It smells a little bit like Dior Sauvage Eau de Toilette, but this stuff smells a lot more rich. It's got some lavender in there. It's not going to be as harsh or kind of synthetic as the Dior Sauvage, but once this stuff dries down about 10 minutes or so into it, in fact, maybe even 5 minutes, it smells almost identical to this stuff. I remember I saw this bottle, I sprayed it on skin. Instantly, it was Prada Luna Rossa Carbon. But this is a really cool clone fragrance house that's just popping up. And again, they're really good prices, around $15 to $17 for the 50 ml like this, or even the 100 ml, which is huge. And then this morning, I decided to go with Ajmal's Evoke Gold. Now this fragrance, I actually just posted about it on my community tab. I know Fragrance Buy actually restocked this one in the 90 ml size for I think about 25 or 26 bucks. And for a while it was really hard to find. So depending on when you see this video, may or may not be out there for that price. But man, does this stuff smell so close to the original Prada L'Homme. So this is gonna be that nice soapy fragrance. And Prada makes some amazing, amazing soapy fragrances. And this captures all of that magic and does it at around that under $30 mark, which is insane. I've actually worn this one in the past in the winter and it's lasted me all day, 12 hours. You can still smell it on hoodies, on your clothes the next day. In fact, even a week after, you know, you discover your hoodie was in your car all week. It's got that really unique powdery iris orris combination. So it's got some violet stem and it's also got the iris. It just captures that really, really nice kind of lipsticky powdery vibe. And it also has a touch of sweetness and a nice medicinal quality, just a hint of that. So if you want a super nice office friendly soapy fragrance, go with this one. Go with Ajmal's Evoke Gold. And then tonight in the afternoon and the evening, I decided to go with a Zara fragrance that I haven't pulled out in a while. This is Zara's Sand Desert at Sunset. Man, does this stuff smell incredible. You have a nice kind of mandarin orange in the opening that transitions into a nice honey smoky whiskey that's very similar to the by Kilian's Angel Share. This is probably one of the best smelling Zara fragrances that they have made, period. And it's actually made by Benoit Laposa, I think that's how you say it. But he actually worked on the original by Kilian Angel Share. So to make a version of Angel Share for $40, it's kind of crazy and it smells way more expensive than it really is. Like this stuff is perfect for a night out if you're grilling outside with friends, you know, you have some shade. It's not going to be too hot. If it's a little bit cooler in the afternoons, go with this one because you will not be disappointed. It is a beast of a date night fragrance. It is just, it hits so hard, especially with that kind of boozy cinnamon and some of that nice sweet citrusy notes. But man, I cannot get enough of this stuff. And that one's Zara's Sand Desert at Sunset. So there you have it. 10 plus one, you know, fragrance that I'm working on, but 10 fragrances that you can pull off in the springtime. Again, some of these are a little bit more dense, can be a little bit cloying if you wear them when it's super hot, but like the coffee ones, you know, the Sand Desert at Sunset, maybe wait until you are in the air-conditioned building all day or in the afternoon. So you can still pull these off in the spring, so don't be afraid to try some of your heavier ones in those cooler climates. But that does it. Thank you so much for checking out this fragrance rotation video. Let me know down in the comments what you have been wearing this week and if you have picked up any new things. I got some more stuff on the way and I'd love to hear what you guys are getting. Thanks for watching. I've been Eli with Common Sense, and until the next time, bye-bye. Yeah, that is literally just carbon. That is a carbon copy. Oh shit! Okay, I think we're good. Jeez.